You're listening to Rebel Spirituality with me, Sam Goldfinch. Here's the truth. Wisdom doesn't follow rules. So each week we're going to explore what it means to wake up your way so you can live a more peaceful, creative and inspired life no matter your circumstances. It's time to blaze your unique path to truth. Hey, you beautiful people. So the first thing that I want to say before anything else is to anyone who's bought me a coffee or a few coffees over the past few weeks, it means so much. Thank you so much. Not only have I been investing that in good quality coffee, if you know me, you'll know that's very important to me, but also to take that time to write poetry and to pay it forwards by, well, you'll sort of, if anyone who saw the Rebel Weekly this week, you'll see the kind of stuff that I'm doing, the kind of poetry I'm putting together and the reflections that I'm putting together. So just thank you so much. And I'm going to read the poem that I put out this week at the end of today's podcast. I thought that could be cool. And it's very much on topic. We're going to be having a riff on nature, the magnificence of nature, and this deep fact, as it looks to me, that you are not separate from nature. There is no distinction between you and nature. And I think we know this, but we think it's an intellectual thing. We kind of run through the beauty of nature and that kind of stuff intellectually. But what we don't understand is that there is something incredibly deep happening with us at the level of who we really are when we're out and about in nature. So for so many of us, we get caught up, we become very introspective, we become very inward looking, we can innocently become problem orientated, and we can feel like the weight of the world is building up and up and up. And then there's that incredible thing that happens when we go out into nature. And I'm not just talking about going to the park. That can be amazing. That's a really beautiful thing to do. But if we go out into nature, into anywhere where there is a open expanse, like a real vista, or perhaps we're lost in the tallness of a pine forest, these trees just towering above us. Perhaps we're out in the desert and we look out across the sands, or perhaps we're looking out at the sea. There is this moment, I don't know if you've noticed, where the whole system it almost pushes us to take a breath, and we're struck by the magnificence and we're just left in awe of what is out in front of us. Now, to me, that moment, that's a recognition of who you really are. That's a recognition of I am that. I am that which I'm looking at. There is no distinction between who I really am and this nature that's all around me. We are nature. And in that moment, it's like we're shot into this perspective machine. Suddenly, all of our sort of problems are they just look so different when we see our space, our place in the universe, where here we are on this spinning ball of rocks staring out into space, can have the same beautiful and profound impact on us. And it's not that this isn't an act of denial. It's not that we go get lost in nature so we don't have to face any of our problems, but it gives us perspective. It reminds us that we're part of something so much bigger than we could possibly fathom. We are the consciousness of the universe experiencing itself through form, as are the trees, as are the bees, as are all of that stuff out there. That is who you are. And you have a deep evolutionary bond with nature. That's a powerful word, bond. We talk about the bond between mother and child, but we don't really think about the bond between mother nature and child, us. And that deep connection, that recognition and knowing inside of us that we're not separate, is one of the most amazing things that we can experience. And for so many of us, there is this urban disconnect. And the city is amazing. The city can be this incredible thing where we can go on adventures and, we can do things all time of night or day. But ultimately, if we're only lost in that kind of urban experience, then we also get lost in this kind of urban decay as well. We start to just crave for this connection. And it's of no surprise to me that all around the world right now, there are doctors that are quite literally prescribing walks in nature. And even just those little bits of respite that we can get can be profoundly just amazing. And I think many of us, we get nature in the sense of access to parks, and that's brilliant. We can do that. It's beautiful. But the thing that we often don't get is the access to the wilds, to looking out upon something that just hits you, just the size of it just hits you, and you're just reminded of your place in the cosmos. That looks like such an incredible thing to me. So, hey, that's kind of it. Like, what I want to just point to today, what I want to remind all of us is that when we're going out in nature, that deep sense of connection, that deep sense of peace that many of us feel, there's obviously kind of like this kind of conscious component where we're looking and seeing, but there's this deep felt knowing that we are exactly the same as that we walk through, the trees that tower above us, the sea that's out in front of us, whatever it happens to be, which is why there's such a deeply therapeutic and just beautiful experience to being out in nature. Right, team? I'm going to read a poem to you that I wrote this week. It's called The Sea by me. The sea by me. If you have eyes to really see the sea, you'll see there is no sea to see. If you have ears to really hear the wind, you'll hear the same again and again. If your hands could really feel the desert would desert and leave you dry. The sands of time would cloud your vision and wake you up from the illusion that there is anything other than you. Sea, sand and water too. A cosmic game of peekaboo. For if you have eyes to really see the sea, you'll see there is no sea to see, just energy looking back at me, through me and me and me and me. Can you see? So, there are some really cool things on the way. It's such a soulful reflection for me to think about what I want to bring in the world to accompany us on this journey. It's important to me that there's going to be a space where we can hang out, so that is coming. There's also going to be opportunities to perhaps access more content, more opportunities for us to be able to hang out in a beautiful feeling and explore what we're looking at here. And so, yeah, stay tuned. There's a lot coming. I'm taking some time to really reflect and be with this over the course of the summer months this year. And then we're going to start creating from that space which infuses all of us and nature. All right, team. I hope you have an amazing week. I'll talk to you soon.